Hi, in this video we are going to learn about Docusign integration with UiPath, and as an example we are going to see how UiPath robots and Docusign can help in extending offer letters to the selected candidates, check if they have signed and accepted the offer letter, and when offer letter is accepted, send the additional documents required by the new hires to fill, sign, and acknowledge. We are going to work with the new hires exercise workflow file right here. This is provided in the new hires project. You can open this in UiPath Studio. Before we begin, I'll take a couple of minutes to explain you the project structure and what the workflow is doing. Firstly, you will see a dependency named uipath.docusign.activities. This gives you access to the set of Docusign activities. You need this to be installed. Inside the input folder, you will find a new hires Excel file. The new hire Excel file contains details of the candidates that will be used to create the offer letter and to send out the Docusign envelopes. You have to add details according to your wish. The name, role, salary, joining date, and manager columns will be used to fill fields in the offer letter being created. The name, email, manager, and manager email columns will be used to send offer letter to the employee, and also the name and email columns will be used to send additional documents to the employee. The offer extended column keeps track of whether the offer has been sent to the candidate. The robot will send the offer letter if this column is empty. The offer confirmed column shows if the offer was accepted by the candidate. The additional documents will be sent if the offer confirmed column has Y. And lastly, the document sent column shows if the additional documents were sent to the candidate holding Y for yes. Make sure you update email and manager email columns with functional emails for the envelopes to be sent out. Next, the output folder will contain all the offer letters being created for the candidates. The temp folder will hold a tracker created at runtime, which will keep a track of offer letters, envelopes sent out to the candidates. The template folder contains an offer letter template Word file. Let me just open that. The offer letter has placeholders for the candidate information, which will be placed in by the robot at runtime. You can change the hiring manager with a name to make it more personalized. The monitor confirmation workflow, which is this one, keeps track of the status of the envelopes that have been sent out. The new hires solution workflow has the solution ready to be executed. You just have to add connection and template details in the argument. New hire exercise workflow is the one we will be working on, and update hire file and update tracker file are the helper workflows that aid the main solution. Now that we have understood the project structure, let's have a walkthrough of the workflow and understand what we are trying to achieve here. In the get data and create tracker plot, we are reading data from new hire Excel sheet and we are creating the tracker file in the temp folder. Here we are reading the Excel sheet and here we are creating the tracker in the runtime. The tracker file will have candidate ID, envelope ID, and completed as the record fields. Next, here we have to add the connection details. To make a note, these comments will be present in all the places where we need to make some changes to the workflow as part of this exercise. The comments will be descriptive enough to help you figure out what needs to be done. Next, we enter into a loop structure. and check if new hire records are available for processing. If present, we get the details in the record variable and then check if the offer confirmation was received from the candidate. If yes, we send the additional documents from the from the Docusign to the candidate and update the hiring data, specifically the document sent field to Y, and move on to check if more records are to be processed. If confirmation was not received, let me go down there. If the confirmation was not received, we create the offer document using the details from the new hire Excel sheet, send the envelope with the offer letter with the manager and CC, update the hiring data, specifically the offer extended field to Y, and move on to check if more records are to be processed. When no more records are left to take action on, we update the new hire Excel with the latest updates. Now let's start making the changes. The first activity is to create a new Docusign connection. For that, we need to use the Docusign Activities. The Docusign Activities can be found under Integration, Docusign. There are specific activities to deal with bulk send, envelope list, and templates. Following the UiPath convention, we have a Docusign application scope activity within which all these activities can be used. For the activities that may not be present in the list and you want to perform within your workflow, there is a powerful invoke Docusign operation which can call any and all the Docusign functions based on your need. It has a powerful builder that will help you search the right operation and also with the parameter document model expected by the respective operation. We are going to use the Docusign application scope to create new connection. You can fill the Docusign application scope with the correct information. Client ID, client secret will be available as arguments to this particular workflow. And you have to fill the details correctly based on your Docusign environment. The auth type has to be OAuth 2 authorization code that you need to select. And the base URL will also be something that you can find within your environment. For me, this is going to be the same because my environment is a sandbox environment. Make sure to set the output connection object to DC connection. This is used in rest of the workflow. We have the connection. Next step will be to add activities pertaining to send additional documents. The send additional document is a Docusign application scope activity that uses the existing connection, which is the previously created DC connection object. Take a note of create signer template role. We are creating a signer template using the record details for the candidate. This will be used to assign the candidate as the signer of the document that is pre-built as template on Docusign. Now we are going to create an envelope from the new hire package template. Make sure the argument new hire package template ID has the template ID copied from the new hire package Docusign template. Please note all the variables being used in the activities are pre-created. You just have to put them in the right places. So I'm going to use create envelope from template activity. I'm going to use account ID here, email subject here. Template ID will be new hire package ID. Signer template. Created envelope ID. And lastly, created envelope summary. You can check the draft on your Docusign to see the envelope being created for the candidate. Message box will help you hold the workflow meanwhile. Next, we have to send the envelope out. We will use the send envelope activity and use the previously obtained created envelope ID object to identify the envelope. We'll again use account ID. Envelope ID will be the created envelope ID, which we got as an out parameter from create envelope from template. And we can leave the other activity as is, or we can add envelope update summary. We have made all the modifications needed for send additional documents. Next, we are making changes to send envelope with offer letter. We are again reusing the connection here. First, candidate recipient is created, who is the signer, and then the manager is created as carbon copy. Both of them are added in envelope recipient under respective lists. Drag and drop, create envelope and send. This activity creates the envelope at runtime instead of using a predefined template. Fill the details as shown in the comment. Again, keep in mind all the variables are pre-created and you just have to place them in the correct places. Create envelope and send. Account ID. Email subject. Recipient's envelope. Document will be offer letter that got created for the candidate. Envelope ID will be created envelope ID. We can leave envelope summary as is. That's it. Now you have seen how to create Docusign connections, how to create envelopes from predefined Docusign templates and send envelopes, and also how to create and send envelopes at runtime. Before we move on to execute the workflow, I wanted to bring your attention to another workflow that will help you keep track of sent envelopes and update the tracker file once candidate accepts the offer letter. You have to fill the values of client ID, client secret, account ID in the arguments of this workflow to make this file executable. Let me go to the point where you will find Docusign specific activities. The getEnvelope activity helps retrieve the envelope object by using the envelope ID. This object contains all the details relevant to an envelope, one of which is the status of the envelope. This workflow keeps track of the envelope statuses present in the tracker. Now let's run and see what this workflow does. The workflow has started. It first goes to fetching the data from the new hire file, and it creates a temporary tracker as well. Next, it goes to create the Docusign application scope, and it has already done the first of the activities, which is sending additional documents. So let's go ahead and check if the document is present on the draft. So to check that, I'll go to the manage section, and there will be a draft section wherein this draft should have been created. I'll click on OK. It next goes to copying the new file. It is creating an offer letter. I'll click on continue. It's creating the new offer letter. Next, it has sent the offer letter as well. So we should be finding it in the sent box. So offer letter was sent. And also from the additional documents previously that was saved as draft has been sent out as well. We'll continue. So there was another additional documents being sent. So it says check your draft. So let's go and do that. Let's refresh it. And there you go. We have another draft that was created. If we move on, it is going to create another offer letter now. All the details that you're seeing being filled in the offer letter is according to the details that is present in the new hire Excel sheet. So it is going to, it has already sent that offer letter out. So let's check that as well. So the offer letter has been sent. You have to note that there is also a manager that has been kept in CC. So that also is being shown here. Another offer letter is going to be created. So all the pings that you're hearing is actually the mails that is being received by my mailbox, because all these items were configured for my mailbox itself. Next, it has sent the offer letter out. So let's check that as well. Let me refresh it. So the new offer letter has been sent out as well. We can continue. And that's it. The workflow has completed. Now, let me see if I can show you the mails that I have received. I'll pick up one offer letter and one additional document template. So this is one of the offer letter that was sent out to Rachel Green. I'll review the document. So this is the document that I have received, and I have to sign it as well. So I'll just put a sign here, and I'll accept one of the signatures that has been auto-populated, and I'll do finish. So once I finish signing this document, the mail will go to the hiring manager as the next recipient, because that was the order set in the template. And I'll show you that as well. So the mail will look something like this for the hiring manager, with the document, the signed document available with this, with the hiring manager to verify, and I can click it here to see the completed document. There you go. Next, I'll show you one of the additional documents that were sent out. So this is one of the additional documents that were sent out. I'll click on review. I'll click on continue. And this is what the document looks like. It has been pre-populated with areas where I need to take certain actions. So as you can see, the first thing that I need to do is I have to sign here, and I can choose the one that I need to adopt. Maybe I'll adopt this one. I have to fill in a location. I'll say Bangalore. I can go to next. I have to sign in here as well. I have to give a value that is required by W4 documents. I'll put some values randomly. So there are validation that has been placed with these particular fields. So they have to be only number. If you try to enter alphabets, they might not be accepted. Let's see what happens. So it starts to say that it's an invalid number because validation was placed for it to be only numbers. And let's see if everything has been covered. This is the last one. I have to choose one of the checkboxes. I'll choose one. And with this, my document finishes. I can click on finish. So I have done the signature, the required signature by a new hire for data protection policy and W4 documents. And once this finishes, I'll receive a mail as a hiring manager regarding the completion state. And I'll show you that in a minute. So I just completed it. This is me being the hiring manager. I get this particular email with both the documents attached, company data protection policy and the W4 documents. That's it for the demo. Thank you for watching.